For the beginning, what usually draws you to the role? What draw you to play Cardinal?
The first thing that draws me is the writing, if the writing is good. And then I guess the next thing that draws me is whether I feel right for the part. And in my mind, whenever I read a script, I'm kind of pretending that I am the producer or the director or the casting agent. And if I don't see if I think to myself, I like this, but I don't see myself in the part, I wouldn't cast myself in the part, then it's very hard for me to be excited about it. But the moment I read Cardinal, I thought, I'm right for this. I just felt within the first couple of pages that I was absolutely right for it, and I got very, very excited. Yeah.
How did you prepare for the role?
I learned my lines. I mean,
is there something you brought to the role that wasn't on the paper?
I didn't have to do much because I felt like I was already right for the part, and you know, he's kind of a man of a few words, not very many words. I like that, and really I prepared mainly by reading the script many, many, many times. I worked with somebody years ago, Anthony Hopkins, and I was very curious about his process because I think he's one of the best actors on the planet. And I finally got up the courage to ask him how he prepared. And he said, I read the script. And I said, okay, yes, but I mean, how do you prepare? How do you really prepare? And he said, that's what I do. I read the script over and over and over and over and over. He reads it hundreds of times. And of course, if he has to learn something, a specific technical skill, like how to handle a surgical instrument or something like that, then of course he would learn that. But yeah, he just reads the script over and over and over. And that's kind of what I did for Cardinal. I just became really familiar with it.
You are in this business for a long time. What changed in Hollywood? What changed in the movie industry? For the good and for the bad?
Well, it would be easier to say what has not changed. Everything has changed. When I started, there was a kind of a wall between television and film, and the people on television really wanted to be in movies and found it difficult to be. I was worried in the beginning of my career about being trapped in television, about being typecast. My first big job was on Dynasty, and I was on for, I think I had most of a season, and then they asked me to, at the end of my time, they asked me to sign up for, sign a fresh contract for 5 or 6 years, and I declined because I was worried about being typecast and worried about being stuck on television. And now everybody wants to be stuck on television. Television it's changed 180 degrees. Most people I know would rather be on a good TV series than have a film career, which is so not very dependable.
What do you think about this new evolution of the industry in terms of streaming services? Now there are a lot of projects, and maybe some quality projects go under the radar because of that. Maybe do you think that streaming services are doing positively effect on the industry, or maybe some negative also?
Honestly, I can't speak to that. I'm on the wrong side of the camera to know much about that. It's awfully exciting that there's so much content out there. When I started, there were, 3 networks in the States. that was pretty much it. You know, and Dynasty was the top-rated show in the country when I was on it. And if you've seen Dynasty, it's really, really cheesy. You know, it's really not very.
It was that time.
It was that time, but I mean, there were other things on television, or have been other things, older things even, that were, you know, pretty good. But and now something can be a hit when it has like 3 million viewers. Yeah. Back in the day, it had to have like 60 million viewers or something. So, yeah, it's quite different. But from my perspective, I'm kind of excited by all the content out there, all the opportunity for storytelling.
Last question, NEM-a Zagreb, these kind of events, how is your experience here? Do you like these kind of events? Do you think it's a good thing to talk about industry in this kind of way?
I think so. I mean, any opportunity to talk the industry up has to be good. I think it has to be good. It can only result in connections being made and things happening. So if nobody's talking about it, it's not a good thing.